So I often put it this way. Part of the evidence that forms the basis of my belief that Christianity is true is what I roughly call the objective facts, the things in history and the things making sense, the whole criteria for truth and the New Testament documents and all the rest of it. But there's another side to it, and that is that Christ comes into the world, makes certain claims that are recorded, and he claimed that if people were to trust him, then something would happen to them. They'd actually experience certain things, like forgiveness, peace with God, a certainty of life to come. Now, I've seen that happen so many times in my own life and other people's lives, particularly the transformation of life. And let me put it very simply. You meet a student who's in a desperate way, feeling very down and depressed and nothing in life is going well and so on and so forth. And then you meet her 6 months later and she's absolutely beaming. And you say, what has happened to you? And she may formulate it in different ways. She may say, well, I've been born again, or I met Christ, or I've become a Christian. But the point is, there's the evidence that she's been transformed by something. And when you've seen that again and again, you begin to think, well, there's something in this. You certainly don't see that happening with people converting to atheism, as far as I know, in any substantial way. And it seems to me this is part of the evidence. I used to be slightly concerned when people would say to me, look, you're a scientist. In science, you can test things. Isn't that the key element in science? And I would say, yes, of course. Well, you can't test Christianity. Well, of course, thinking about it, I realized, of course, you can. Christ says that if people repent and trust him for salvation, then they receive peace with God, they receive forgiveness, and they receive a new power and a new life. And you can test that very easily. So that the idea of maybe I might be wrong, that fades, and it fades the older I get, actually. It's not that the nearer I get to death, the more uncertain I become, the more certain I become. And perhaps that's because I've lost my marbles, but I don't think so.